Hey guys.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Glad you tuned in to another episode of the Biggest Hill Podcast. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, all that good stuff. Introduction.
Happy tax time, too, for some of you.
It's kind of early for tax time, but y'all know who we are. This Big, Skip, G in the background. What's going on, fellas?
The Notorious and my nigga G Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into some stuff, because, you know, missed y'all last week. We see Skip back. He doing better. Let's get into, you already know what we do. We get into the product. The Los Angeles
Support black
sweatsuit.
business.
The stack sweatsuit.
Stack sweatsuit.
Make it show them pants in the back row. Check it out.
And then y'all see over my right shoulder, we got the flannel, the winter flannel.
And the stack khakis.
And the stack khakis in the background. The stack khakis in the background going for how much?
65.
In the flannel?
50.
And then the sweatsuit?
85. Let's show them that whole sweatsuit. They gotta see that joint. Show them.
Yeah, you know, whole joint. We got the, oh, my bad. Turned around the wrong way. You see? You know what I'm saying?
Then check out that.
And then the hoodie.
Check out the back of that thing.
The hoodie to match, and then the back of it. Look at the back of this.
Fly like an angel. You feel what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Los Angeles, City of Angels.
Like you feel
Live Mechanics.
City of Angels.
City of Angels. That's how we do it. LA.
Recess LR.
Yeah.
Support my nigga G Baby.
You already know it.
Instagram. Hey, he taking all comers.
All
If you
comers,
got the money,
all customers.
if you paying to play, that's the man you want to fuck with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You gotta forgive my phone for going off. I should have turned that off. Let's get into some football talk because there's a lot of shit that's been being said this week. First of all, congratulations. We took care of business. Y'all took care of business.
Can I say something before we get into it?
Yep.
I just want to say that I've only seen 2 ass kickings like I saw the other night that the Raiders did, and they clearly quit on their coach.
Which is why the coach got fired.
But he should have been fired.
Should have even started the season.
In 1999, the Jacksonville Jaguars beat Dan Marino in his last game and Jimmy Johnson in his last coaching game. 67 to 3.
It was 62-7. I remember that game.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 62-7. The playoff. It was a playoff game.
And this season, the Miami just scored 70.
70 on Denver. Beat them 70-20.
So yeah.
But
the only reason why Sean Payton didn't get fired is because they owe him a lot of money and because he's Sean Payton.
And Denver has turned their season around since then too.
Dangerous.
So shout out to the Broncos. They turned their season around since then. But
who do you want to talk about?
What I want to talk about is a little bit. Like I said, first of all, congratulations. We took care of business against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank you.
And then y'all took care of business against the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, I got to say thank you because you really set it up for us to play in the NFC title game. Thank you. We're going to win the division now. Y'all exposed Philly. We exposed them more.
I wouldn't go as far as y'all going to win the division yet because y'all still got some tough games left.
Yeah, we do.
Y'all still got Miami.
Them teams ain't better than Philly.
Y'all got Buffalo this week, and then I got Miami.
They just beat Kansas City?
They did just beat Kansas City, yep. And then y'all got Miami. Although I'm not high on Miami like that. I think Miami is this year's version of the Minnesota Vikings. They're fool's gold to me. But they're still 9-4, so we'll leave it at that. And then I got Detroit, who's also fool's gold, but they are 9-4. So y'all got some tough games.
They're not fool's gold. They gold over silver.
Okay. we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. So I just appreciate y'all for taking care of business and all that. So
I appreciate that.
So yeah, let's get you right, man.
Yeah.
Let's get you right.
My bad, folks.
No, you're all good. You just gotta get it right. All right, we're right. I want to get into 2 topics that's been going on in football. I don't know if you've been following this. The MVP debate that's going on right now. So, and this debate is going to lead over into something else that's really been hot NFL-wise that I really want to talk about. The MVP debate. Who's the top 2 leading candidates for league MVP in the NFL? I'll tell you. One is Dak Prescott. He's the leading candidate for league MVP, and deservedly so because ever since that game against the 49ers, Dak Prescott been playing like the best quarterback in the NFL. Cut down the turnovers, They opened the offense back up. He's throwing touchdown passes. He got CeeDee Lamb involved. He got Brandon Cooks involved. The running game can still be better. But that pass game, that offense, Mike McCarthy doing this thing. Number 2 is Brock Purdy. Doing this thing, had the little 3-game skid, didn't look good. But those other 10 games.
It wasn't his fault.
I agree.
I'm saying that as your enemy.
I agree it wasn't his fault, but the national media blamed it all on him.
That's haters.
Because that's just what they do.
That's the national media and other audiences.
That's just what they do. They blamed it on him. And I'm not saying he was innocent. He did something, threw some interceptions that he shouldn't have thrown. But I also know that our defense was playing really soft at the time.
Right.
So it was as a whole, it was the team's fault. But those are the top 2 people that are leading candidates for league MVP. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy are 1, 2 in damn near every statistical quarterback stat this year.
Who's number 3?
I think Tua leads the league in yards and passing yards. But I think Prescott and Purdy are 2 and 3. They're 1 and 2 in completion percentage. I think they're 1 and 2 in touchdown passes.
QBR?
I think they're 1 and 2 in QBR. They're 1 and 2 in rating. Both of them 10 and 3. I mean,
what about touchdown to interception ratio?
I think they're 1 and 2.
All right.
So it's like these have been clearly the 2 best quarterbacks all year. And people are mad because more so that Brock Purdy have the second best odds to win more than they are mad at Dak Prescott having the best odds to win. And I don't understand it. This is just me being unbiased. They've been the 2 best quarterbacks all year. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy. They've been the 2 best quarterbacks all year. Every quarterback has had hiccups this year. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Jalen Hurts has had hiccups. Pat Mahomes has had hiccups. Josh Allen has had hiccups. Trevor Lawrence has had hiccups. Joe Burrow was hurt most of the year. Now he out for the year. Justin Herbert had hiccups all year. Now he out for the year.
Deshaun
Watson was having hiccups. Now he out for the year. Every quarterback has had hiccups this year. So people want to talk about the first 6 weeks for Dak Prescott when he wasn't great, and he wasn't, but he's been great since. People want to talk about the 3-game losing streak that Brock Purdy had, and he made some mistakes, but they seemingly forget the other 10 games that Brock Purdy has had all year where he's been great. I think in the other 10 games this year, Brock Purdy has thrown 1 interception. And this is for all the people that were saying in preseason the book is out on Brock Purdy because in a joint practice, he threw 3 interceptions. Oh, my God, he's just going to throw 20 interceptions this year. He's only thrown 6.
I mean,
he threw 5 of those in a 3-week period.
I knew last year when I first saw that young man, I'm like, these motherfuckers might be lucked and stumbled across a little diamond in the rough.
That's absolutely what happened.
So that's a salute to your player personnel and scouting department.
That's absolutely what happened because
I also want to say y'all had to redeem yourselves because y'all picked Trey Lance.
Yeah, we did.
So
I
never thought Purdy was bad, but he's only going to get better. That's all.
He's definitely going to get better. He's already doing the things he's doing now. He's going to get better. I was never high on Trey Lance, and you're right. We made a mistake taking Trey Lance. But we got away with it because we got Brock Purdy, and now Brock Purdy is doing what he's doing. We was able to trade Trey Lance and get something back for him. So we got away with it. So I'm okay with that. I just don't like the fact that, like I said, these been the 2 best quarterbacks majority of the season, and they're getting hated on by somebody and other people for being who they are. And I don't agree with what somebody and other people said about Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott.
I got 2 things I want to say. First thing I'm going to say is that with the reason why y'all picked Trey Lance is because Shanahan thought that they had another RG3 type like situation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason why they picked him.
No, that's the exact reason why.
And the other thing I'm going to say is that right now, the way things is formulated, you see that beyond what Brock Purdy and what Dak Prescott are accomplishing right now, which is great and remarkable for both of them. But it just goes to show that for all the people who was talking shit saying, oh, the boy genius, he's not his dad, Shanahan's a great coach. And we've already run over on previous podcasts all the quarterbacks who he's touched. Kirk Cousins, RG3, Matt Ryan, others. You know what I mean? And as far as our Coach McCarthy, you see Aaron Rodgers had his best years under Coach McCarthy, and you see that now Coach McCarthy is calling plays for Dak Prescott. He's minimized his mistakes, and he's maximizing what he does well, and he's doing something to Kellen Moore, and I forget
Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett. He's doing something that they couldn't do. Jason Garrett did a little bit earlier in Dak's career. But I feel like that when you use Dak as a dual threat, and we got a decent running back, like in the beginning, the first 2 years of his career, when my nigga Zeke was freaky, right? You didn't know if Dak was finna take off or if he finna hand it off to Zeke and Zeke finna go. You know what I mean? So now McCarthy is utilizing more of that. I think some of it was the play call, and I think some of it was Dak was scared. Like, I got a homie who's a Raider fan. Shout out to my nigga Cam. And he's down on Derek Carr. And I told him, Derek Carr is not a bad quarterback. But everybody said that he played scared. He broke his fucking leg, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, you think the man's still going to be like he may be physically 100%, but that's a terrible injury he went through that could have ended his career. So it's like when you got a player who had a compound fracture in his leg, like Dak Prescott, he might tell the coach, like, hey, coach, don't call so many running plays for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got to go with that mental hurdle.
That to you fucking Philadelphia Pigeons, y'all gonna get y'all quarterback hurt doing that fucking Philadelphia shove bullshit.
Oh, that tush push.
Like y'all didn't learn from the Kansas City Chiefs organization when they got number 15 patella tendon dislocated. Y'all didn't learn from that. Anyway, what else? What's our next?
So yeah, I don't like the hate that's being spewed towards those two quarterbacks because they've been the two best quarterbacks all year.
So who's the coach of the year to you?
We'll talk about that in a minute. The main thing I wanted to get into about, like I said, stuff that's been a hot topic this week. I don't know if you heard, but I damn sure did. Mr. Cameron Jarrell Newton, y'all know him as Cam Newton. If you've been, that Cam Newton. If y'all been under the rock past week or whatever, let me give y'all a little bit of what Cam said. Cam basically said that there's difference between game changers and game managers. He said there are probably about 3 to 5 quarterbacks that are game changers. Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and who was the fifth he said? I forget who the fifth he said was. But those are game changers. And then he said game managers are people like Brock Purdy, people like Dak Prescott, people like Tua Tagovailoa, and people like Jared Goff. Game changers are people who...
They're great in their role.
Basically, his definition of game changer and game managers are people who don't deviate from the system. Their job is to not make mistakes, put the skilled players in the best positions to succeed. And game managers are basically people that they could put a team on their back and carry them to a win. Basically, I
don't agree with that.
That's why I want to get into that. Basically, he's saying that the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Lions, they're not winning because of their quarterback. They're winning because of the skilled players that they have.
I've been saying that for the last 6 years about someone.
But here's where I disagree with what Cam Newton said. And I'm gonna put everything out there that I disagree with what he said. I believe that every quarterback is a game manager. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, please explain.
What's the job of a quarterback?
To run the plays that the coaches call.
Run the plays that the coaches call. Don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Put your skilled players in the best position to succeed. And be a leader. That is every single quarterback's job in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Every single quarterback is a fucking game manager. You can't separate the two. Every quarterback is a game manager because every quarterback's job is to run the play that the coaches call.
I'm about to pull your whole card, right?
run the plays that the coaches call, put your skilled players in the best position to succeed, don't make mistakes. That is every single quarterback's job in the NFL. Now, there are quarterbacks who are game managers and game changers. The reason why I say that is because there are some quarterbacks who have the physical ability to, if a play breaks down, they can go make another play.
All right, I don't got to pull your whole card.
They could go make another play. They could go make another play. Those, to me, are game changers. That's where you bring in the Lamar Jacksons and the Pat Mahomes and the Josh Allens of the world. Because although their job is to manage the game, if that play that is called breaks down, they have the ability to improvise and make a great play that will change the game. That's what Cam Newton, to me, should have said. And that is coming from somebody who, and I got some other stuff to say about Cam Newton later, but what I'm gonna say now is that's some stuff from somebody who played the position at a high level. That's what you should have said, Cam Newton, is that every quarterback is a game manager, but not all quarterbacks are game changers. That I agree with. I don't agree with you could separate the two, because every quarterback, listen, I'm gonna tell you some of the greatest game managers that ever played the position. Joe Montana.
No.
Game managers, greatest game managers that I ever seen. Joe Montana. Aaron Rodgers. Peyton Manning.
Troy
Aikman. Tom Brady. Greatest game managers I ever seen in my life.
Phil Simms.
But
it's others too.
It's others. Greatest game managers I ever seen. But
you call Alex Smith a game manager in a derogatory fashion.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You call Joe Flacco a game manager in a derogatory fashion.
Listen to what I'm saying. Being a game manager is not derogatory. But Joe Flacco wasn't a game changer.
No.
He was only one. He wasn't both. Guys like Trent Dilfer, he's one. He's not both. Alex Smith, he's a game manager. He wasn't a game changer. Quarterbacks, to me, that are that upper echelon, that high level quarterbacks, to me, they're both.
So was Tony Romo a game manager or a game changer?
Tony Romo was in between because he could make plays. I don't think he made plays that changed the game. I don't think he was a quarterback that could say, get on my back, I'm taking you to the promised land. To me, those are game changers.
Brett Favre, Steve Young, John Elway.
Steve Young was a game changer. John Elway was a game changer.
Brett Favre
was a game changer. Those are guys that said, get on my back, I'm taking you to a championship.
All right, then if that's the case, Steve McNair was a game changer.
Steve McNair was a game changer.
All right.
Because he took that team to the Super Bowl.
Michael Vick, definitely a game changer.
Definitely a game changer.
Donovan McNabb, definitely a game changer.
Definitely a game changer.
So was Peyton Manning a game changer or was he a game manager?
Game changer.
Andrew Luck.
Changer.
All right.
These are quarterbacks that I say are both, because the number one job of a quarterback is to manage the game. Now, if you play above that...
So why in the media did they say game manager in a derogatory, condescending term?
No, that was something that got cleaned up this week by a lot of people in the media, because what was going on is that people made game manager something negative. It's not negative to be a game manager, because that is your number one job as a quarterback, is to manage the game, to manage the plays. It's you determine who gets the ball on every single possession. The quarterback does. You determine if this wide receiver is going to get the ball, or that wide receiver is going to get the ball, or this wide receiver is going to get the ball, or that tight end is going to get the ball, or this running back or that fullback is going to get the ball. The quarterback determines that every single play.
You know what that is? You know what that is to me? Too, though.
You said what?
The running back and the wide receiver determine that too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on every single play. You know what that is to me? That's a manager. That's a manager.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. It's similar, but it's an analogy, right? What we're saying as far as game managers and game changers, right? That would be like the question of, matter of fact, I'm a direct this one to G Baby. Hey, G Baby, we talking about pocket passers, niggas that's just gonna make the right play and they don't do nothing exciting. And we talking about like game changers like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, Lamar Jackson. So I'm gonna say in NBA terms, you could have a Chris Paul or a John Stockton or a nigga who you know gonna make the right play but gonna get a bucket, or you could have a Derrick Rose or Allen Iverson or Steve Francis or Ja Morant. So which one do you think is more important since we talking about game managers and game changers.
All right. And since this is entertainment, the game changer. Because what I mean, it's still entertainment. Now, if this was not an entertainment factor of it, now listen. Also, are they a winner in the game?
That's what I was gonna say. It's not about what you do; it's about the win.
You can't just be a game changer and you ain't a winner because you're getting all these hot. Well, this is
Sidebar. Cam Newton. I got some words for you later, based on what he just said. What he just said, I got some words for you later, Cam Newton.
Like you could be a game changer, but are you a winner? You know what I'm saying? For real though, because you making all the highlights and all the plays and getting all this. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real. Here we go. Perfect example. Game changer, but not a winner. Dan Marino.
Yeah. Charles Barkley.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
Karl Malone.
You know what I'm saying?
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah. Game changer, definitely. Dan Marino, damn near had every fucking.
Dan Marino, one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Hey,
he never won.
No.
He never
I'm
won.
going to correct you, young man, young old man, young OG. Dan Marino, statistically speaking, to me, and the way he did it, with what he had, is the greatest quarterback I've seen as far as like game changer with his arm only, not the legs, with his arm only. With his arm, he was the equivalent of what Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson and Randall Cunningham and Donovan McNabb was with their legs.
And that's a fair assessment. I can't argue that. Dan Marino was that dude with his arm. But again, game changer that never won.
Now, it's not about, so this is my next thing I want to say, NBA or NFL. It's not about how you, or even if we was playing dominoes. If I beat you, my nigga, and I get 5 points all the whole game and I get 150, it's not about how pretty it look or how you do it. It's how you get to the win. That's why I said it don't matter whether you got Brad Johnson, they won.
Nah,
It's
like
results.
Hey,
Brad Johnson,
It's results. No, I understand. It's results.
Perfect example. The Spurs versus Detroit.
Yeah.
They got there, but who give a fuck?
Nobody.
No, but that was some
no,
people.
what he's saying.
2 winners getting the job done.
That's it, yeah. What he-
I got you.
And nobody gave a fuck.
No, I got you. But what I was gonna say is, to me, that was beautiful basketball.
Yeah, to appear.
But the entertainment factor
The worst.
for the casual fan,
Nigga,
was-
for
it
even
wasn't
regular
there. It
basketball
wasn't there,
fans,
yeah.
nigga. I'm not a casual.
what do you mean?
At
You
that
got Shea Wallace, Chauncey Billups,
here we go.
Rip Hamilton,
At that time-
Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili,
Man.
Tony Parker.
Yeah, but you also got to
What
stand.
more could you ask
No.
for?
At that time, I wasn't a casual basketball fan, and it
what
still
he's
was not
saying.
entertaining to
I think
me.
what he's saying is like, listen, Rasheed Wallace was a great player. So was Chauncey Billups. So was Rip Hamilton. So was Ben Wallace.
Tayshaun Prince.
So was Tayshaun Prince. So was Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker are Hall of Famers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That team
Boris
also.
Diaw.
Boris
Let's
Diaw.
keep going,
Boris
man. We
Diaw
had
was
good players
Boris Diaw
that
was
whole
a
series.
good player.
Bob Horry.
Rob Horry was a good player. Steve Kerr was a good player. These guys are good players. But again, where he is saying what's more
Ben
important.
Wallace is the Hall of Famer.
Listen to me. What he's saying along the lines of let's keep it on the subject here.
Yeah.
What he's saying as far as the difference between a game changer and a game manager, what's more important. The reason why he said when it comes to entertainment, game changers are more important because to the casual fan, yes, those guys are great. Those guys are Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
But if you see a headline that says San Antonio Spurs versus Detroit Pistons, the casual fan is gonna be like, all right, let me go see who played for these teams. And they ain't gonna see these names. They ain't gonna be like,
In this game.
we get Tim Duncan, greatest power forward of all time.
But he never had
But
a
his
shoe.
nickname was Mr. Fundamental.
Right.
Because that was his game.
He had
His
a
game.
shoe, but he did have a shoe.
He did have a shoe. He did
That
have a
shoe
shoe.
was tight. But
Yeah,
besides that
his
one
thing,
commercial.
his thing was Mr. Fundamental
Yeah.
because that was his game. His game was
Right.
fundamental.
Right.
He wasn't flash.
Right.
He wasn't none of that. Even Kevin Garnett and them talk about his trash talking. His trash talking wasn't nigga fuck you and I'm better than you. I'll bust your ass. His trash talking was like if I hit a shot, oh you almost had it. Good job.
Got him, coach.
Oh nice
And
try.
look, and due to that,
That was his trash
due to
talking.
his gameplay being like that for a long time, just because how Kevin Garnett played, I used to think KG was better than Tim
Exactly.
Duncan.
KG bravado.
Yeah, because it make you think that until you really
let's
look at it,
go.
you go back and be like, he bust
Tim
everybody.
Duncan used to bust his ass
Everybody.
every time
He
they
bust
played.
everybody ass.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
she bust everybody ass, and KG is the nigga that'll tell you.
All right, but we not.
But I want to say something, right?
Go ahead.
I want to say something, right? So, since we talking about that, right? I have a question for both of y'all.
Yeah.
And for the audience, if y'all want to chime in, press that like button, press that share button, press that subscribe button, tell a friend, bring a friend, come again, get in the comments. Now, my question is, since we talking about entertainment factor and name the name you know, a quote from the great Eddie Murphy from Distinguished Gentleman circa 1992. What was the better finals?
That was 1992 when that movie? Oh, whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
That movie is that over. It's crazy.
So
Came out the same year as Boomerang. That's
yeah,
crazy.
that was
know
another.
that.
That nigga did double play.
I didn't know
Double
that.
play.
All right, go ahead. I didn't know. it came. No, I knew it came out early. I didn't know it came out the same year.
Talk about one day, man.
Yeah, we gonna talk about that one day. Yeah.
Time, and we know.
Yes, sir. So my question is, what was the better final since we talking about entertainment?
Right.
The Detroit Pistons and Spurs finals, or the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat finals?
Come on, man. Come on, man. That's a real question.
I didn't watch a game.
Come on.
You didn't watch the
So,
game.
all right. Hold on. We went. Hold on.
Hey, what I heard was.
Hold on.
Wait. I want to ask you something, Big. Being honest, since we Laker fans. At that time, being an NBA fan, Laker fan first, NBA fan, right? Were you excited about the Dallas Mavericks, who never been to the finals, or the Miami Heat, who never been to the finals? Were you excited about that? I wasn't excited.
Are you talking about 2006?
I'm like, you got these two.
Dwayne Wade was
You talking
on
about
the terror?
2006?
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
You was?
Yes, I was.
Dwayne Wade was on the
Like-
terror.
Come on. I'm
Yes, I was.
not saying
Yes,
that.
I
I'm
was.
a big ass fan of
I'm
Dwayne Wade.
gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm way more excited about the 06 finals than the 05 finals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And mind you, I'm not
Please explain.
I'm not a casual basketball
Yeah,
fan.
please
I'm
explain.
a real
Sure
fan.
not.
Know the game inside out.
You not either, fan.
Regardless of what some people say, but I know the game inside out. If you want to talk about just pure basketball, then let's talk about the 2005 NBA Finals, Pistons Spurs. Because that was pure basketball.
Yes.
Even if you start from the coaching, Greg Popovich versus Larry Brown, that's pure basketball.
Yes.
And then the matchups, Duncan and Sheed, Parker and Billups. Like, it's pure basketball. We could talk about that. But if we're going to talk about entertainment value, then let's talk about the 06 Finals. Dwayne Wade is on one side. Shaq is on the other side, is on that same side. And you got to talk about that Miami team that was loaded with Antoine Walker, with Gary Payton, with Alonzo Mourning, with Jason Williams, with who else was on that team?
Talking about all guys that was the end of their career.
But listen, the name, those names are going to want. People are going to want to
I
go.
get you.
People are going to
Since
want
we
to go
talking
see
about the
those.
name, you know.
But then we talk about the other side.
Household names.
We talk about the other side on Dallas, a team that had Dirk Nowitzki, who's the greatest player ever from over Germany. Excuse me, let me get it right. From Germany to play in the NBA. He's the greatest.
Yeah.
So of course,
the greatest international, the greatest
he's
European?
the greatest European to play in the NBA.
As of right now,
He's the greatest European to play in the NBA he's the greatest European to play. He's the greatest European to play in the
That's
NBA.
arguable.
Who else?
I'm about to tell you.
But see, you going up.
Wait, I'm about to tell you. Wait, I'm about to tell you, Joe.
No, let's go.
Jody.
You going up the subject.
Wait. Let me say this right quick. I'm not gonna go off the subject. The greatest Euro player to me is Drazen Petrovic.
Wrong. Dirk's better than him.
Man, what? I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Dirk, I know who he is, but Dirk's better than him.
Yeah,
My point in what I'm saying is the entertainment value. The casual fan is going to see, Dirk
Right.
on this side, and Dwayne Wade on that side. And to a lesser extent, Shaq, because Shaq was kind of falling off.
So who the fuck else Dallas had?
He's still Shaquille O'Neal. It
the
don't
fuck else
matter.
Dallas
It don't
had?
matter. Star
What you mean
power.
it don't matter?
It don't matter. Star power. And then on top of that, there's a lot of people that watch that
Is
final.
Dirk Nowitzki better than Rasheed Wallace? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Where?
He's a better all-around player. Dude, we got to stop putting doves on Rasheed Wallace like Rasheed Wallace was the greatest thing since sliced bread. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop doing that, man. We got to stop doing it. Listen, I fuck with Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace was good. There's a reason. I fuck with Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace is dope, man. Rasheed Wallace is dope, man. But let's stop putting doves on this nigga like he was the best power forward playing at the time. Because in my opinion, Kevin Garnett was better than him.
Hey, my nigga Roscoe, I got your back, Roscoe.
Tim Duncan was
if
better.
you check us out on YouTube, I got your back, Roscoe.
Kevin Garnett was better than Rasheed Wallace. Tim Duncan was better than Rasheed Wallace. Dirk Nowitzki was better than Rasheed Wallace. Chris Webber was better than Rasheed Wallace, bro. Let's keep it real, man. Like this nigga wasn't like
Rasheed Wallace, the original stretch fucking four that originated the game for niggas today to even be able to eat.
he didn't originate shit, man. He didn't originate shit. Like, why is Rasheed? If this man was
Rasheed Wallace.
If Rasheed Wallace so great, why this man not in the Hall of Fame? Why is he not in the Hall of Fame?
Because he's shit.
No, because he wasn't. No, because he wasn't good like that. He was a good power forward, but he's not a great power forward.
Let's get back on topic.
Let's keep this shit in perspective, man. I'm so sick of niggas just because somebody did average 18 points a game, they're the greatest of all time. That's if he averaged 18
Laker
points
fans.
a game. No, it ain't about being a Laker fan. It's not about being a Laker fan. It's about putting doves on people that don't deserve that shit. Yeah. Rasheed Wallace is a good player. I fuck with Rasheed Wallace, but Rasheed Wallace ain't on this level of power forwards. He's like second tier of power forward. He ain't up there with Barkleys, Malones, Duncans, Garnetts, Dirks. He's not up there. We gotta stop this shit. Rasheed Wallace is not up there.
I didn't compare him to none of the other niggas we said. I said Dirk Nowitzki.
I just said Dirk is up here.
All right, for sure. I got you. Let's get back.
Dirk was a Finals MVP. This nigga ran through a play. Dirk ran through the playoffs where he beat Kobe Bryant,
LeBron James,
Kevin Durant, and LeBron James.
That was later Dirk.
He beat Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James.
Hey, folks,
he beat three
this
of
is
the
same.
He beat
Dirk
three of the.
Nowitzki,
He
MVP,
beat three.
2007 season. They choked in the first round of the fucking playoffs.
That's because Dirk wasn't physical enough.
So this is the same Dirk.
But Rasheed Wallace, as the number one, didn't lead Portland to shit. And don't act like he was the best player on that Pistons team because he
fucking won the championship without Sheed.
Rasheed Wallace wasn't even the best player on that team. What are we talking about? He wasn't the best player on that team. We got to stop doing this shit, man. Cut the nostalgia. We got to stop doing this shit. Rasheed Wallace was good, but he ain't top tier power forward like them other cats was. All them other cats that I named, I'll take before Rasheed Wallace in a heartbeat, including Dirk.
I got you. Let's get back on subject.
When Rasheed Wallace ain't never ran through Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James in one playoff run. That's GOAT shit.
All right.
That's GOAT shit.
Hey, bro, you my nigga. You know me.
But I didn't
Our
deviate.
Lakers came within a quarter of losing back in 2000. And you know, I know.
But if Rasheed Wallace so great, Portland wouldn't have choked. Rasheed Wallace was the best player on that team.
He was.
And they choked.
What a team was Scottie Pippen.
And they choked.
And Smitty.
And they choked.
And
they choked.
And they choked.
And they choked.
Damon Stoudemire.
And they choked.
And Arvydas Sabonis.
And they choked. They blew a 15.4 quarter lead.
O'Neal.
And they choked.
And Deadlift Striff.
And they choked. You're missing the point of what I'm saying. When Rasheed Wallace was the best player on a team, I will forever remember him as the best player on a team that choked away a 15.4 quarter lead. In a year, they would have beaten Indiana in the
finals. James
finals.
Harden then too.
We already know what I think about James Harden.
All right.
But we stop talking to me like Rasheed Wallace is these guys when all these guys have won championships.
Those guys
outside
speak
of
highly of
Malone.
Rasheed Wallace.
You said what?
Those guys speak highly of Rasheed Wallace.
That's not a problem with speaking highly of Rasheed Wallace. I speak very highly of Rasheed Wallace. But is he better than those guys? Man, hell no. He's not better than those guys.
That nigga KG be like, that nigga Sheed.
Shaq talk all the time about how Brian Big Country Reeves used to bust his ass. Does that make him better than Shaq? Thank you.
I never seen Big Country bust his ass. I don't know what the fuck he talking about.
I have. He always talk about how Rick Smith.
I've seen Stanley Roberts
He always
bust
talk
his
about
ass.
how Rick Smith used to bust
He
his
did.
ass. Does that make Rick
That's
Smith?
facts.
Does that make Rick Smith better than Shaq?
No.
Then what are we talking about here?
Let's get back on subject. The 2006 and 2005 finals.
We went way off of subject. I was talking about game changers and game managers. We got way off topic. The reason why he said what's more important, game manager and game changer, when we talk about entertainment value and game changer, because that's what the casual fan wants to see. They want to see game changers.
You still didn't tell me which finals was better.
I said 2006.
What about you?
2006 easily.
I said 2006.
All right.
That finals was better than 05. But I went way off topic.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't agree with what Cam Newton said. I think all quarterbacks are game managers. I just think some are game managers and game changers. And that's where I'm going to leave it.
I wouldn't necessarily even use the term game manager. I'm just going to say it's tiers.
It is
your
tiers.
top tier, your second tier, your third tier, and everybody else.
I agree.
And
I agree.
And that's it.
And like I said,
and I got the, hey, shout out to Nick Wright. First things first.
Man.
I got the tiers from him. I don't agree with everything you say. You wrong about Mac Jones. You definitely wrong about your quarterback for your team. But I just want to say, as far as tiers, it's levels to this shit. So you got your top tiers, and to me, Aaron Rodgers is still at the top tier.
How is he still the top tier and he's not playing?
Because he's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but you're talking about past Aaron
And
Rodgers.
you said he's a game manager.
His tier.
That's why
I said he's a game manager and a game changer.
Oh, I'm about to say, God damn.
I never said Aaron Rodgers wasn't a game changer. He's definitely a game changer. But Aaron Rodgers is not playing right now. So why are we talking about Aaron Rodgers right now? You saying Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers based on the past. Nick Wright's tiers is based on right now. And right now, Aaron Rodgers is not playing.
All right. To you, right now,
No.
and today, is Mac Jones a bad quarterback? Or is he in a bad situation?
I think he's in a bad situation.
Thank you. Nick Wright says Mac Jones is garbage.
You know who's
I don't agree.
Zach Wilson's garbage. He's garbage. Mac Jones is in a bad situation because the Patriots need to tear that. The Patriots need to tear that down and build it back up.
It appears garbage, but he shows flashes of something.
A lot of quarterbacks show flashes of something. It don't make them not garbage.
Hey, Joe Flacco right now is going to take the Browns to the playoffs.
The Browns were already good before Flacco became their quarterback.
But I'm saying Flacco is someone, he still got a little bit of juice in his tank.
He can still play, but the Browns aren't going to do nothing in the playoffs. Like, they make the playoffs, they're going to end up playing somebody out of Jacksonville, Miami,
they got a hell of a defense,
Kansas City.
bro. They got a hell of a fucking defense.
Okay, that's great. I'm proud of them. They're going to have to go.
They beat Baltimore with a backup quarterback at that.
Yeah, and they're going to have to go against a team that has a great defense too, like a Baltimore, like a Kansas City.
But I'm saying they beat them already.
Well, they're going to have to beat them again.
Their division is awful.
Yeah.
So if they can survive,
first of all,
when I say awful, when I say awful,
their division is the best division in football.
No, look, let me clarify myself. When I say their division is awful, I'm saying it's awful to come out of that division because the Steelers, as mediocre and anemic as their offense is, they're going to fight you. The Ravens are relevant.
The Ravens, The Ravens got the best record in the AFC.
I agree. Let me finish. The Cincinnati Bengals, even though they don't got Joe Burrow right now, they still gonna fight you. The Browns, they don't got motherfucking Deshaun Watson. They got Flacco. They gonna fight you. So it's like whoever come out of that division. This is why I said it's awful. I'm saying it's awful because it's like these niggas is squabbling up, squaring up the whole get down. So it's like you can't just say, oh, like the Browns might fuck around and upset somebody because they got a great defense.
They might.
And they play ball control offense running game. So
they might do something, but I just don't think they will.
No, I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl. But I think they can go to the second round.
I don't think they can. I'm not. Nah.
It depends on who their matchup is.
Nah. I don't see.
You don't think Flacco could pull off the magic?
Nah. No.
You said that in 2013.
I didn't, and he did. I don't believe in Joe. He shouldn't have won.
I don't believe in Flacco.
He shouldn't have won Super Bowl MVP.
They turned the lights out on y'all.
They shouldn't have won. He should not have won Super Bowl MVP. I stand by that, and
Ray should have won a Super Bowl MVP.
I'm never going to deviate from that.
Wait, who should have won the Super Bowl MVP then? Ray Rice or Ray Lewis?
Ray Rice or Jacoby Jones should have won Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, you know the quarterback
because Jacoby Jones, I think, had 2 run backs in that game against us.
Now,
but
when I call you stat man, I don't mean no disrespect. You stat man because I know, nigga. Hey, fans, bro used to get the LA Times and get the stats, nigga, like every day. So when I say stat man, why do you think that Joe Flacco isn't capable of pulling when he pulled in 2013?
Because that
was the best season of his career.
Because I go back to what the original question was: game manager, game changer. Joe Flacco's not a game changer to me.
But he won a Super Bowl
because he had a great defense and a great running game.
All right,
he managed the game, and he managed it well enough to get them to and win a Super Bowl.
Is Eli Manning a game changer or a manager?
Game manager.
And he got 2 of them things.
Yep, because he managed the game well enough to get them to the Super Bowl twice and win.
Okay, I got another question for you. Is Ben Roethlisberger a game manager or a game changer? And this is for both of y'all.
He a winner.
He kind of more towards both.
Yeah,
I think he's the manager and a game changer.
I ain't gonna lie, he could win.
Yeah, he's the manager and a game changer.
That motherfucker just know how to
and like I said, man, every quarterback is a game manager because the quarterback number one job is to do everything that was described as a game manager. Don't make mistakes. Put your skilled players in the position to succeed, and manage the plays that are being called. That's every quarterback's job. Like I said, some just go above and beyond, and to me, that's what makes them game changers. But every quarterback is a game manager. Like I said, Cam Newton, I'm gonna get. I got some stuff for you.
Hey, shout out to my nigga Cameron. Follow my nigga on YouTube. He got a motherfucking podcast.
He do got a podcast. And go follow him.
Charleston White, the greatest nigga ever, was on this podcast.
Yeah.
Broke the internet for fucking 6 million views. Cause no matter what y'all can say, the nigga can say crazy shit, but he got
people gonna tune in.
He got truth behind that crazy
shit.
People
gonna tune in.
I know the feeling.
He got truth behind
people
that crazy
tune in.
shit.
I know the feeling.
But
that nigga don't want black people killing each other, man. Nah, that's really the fucking truth. You feel what I'm
that's
saying?
the truth.
And he really worked with them kids any and every day, bro.
Yeah, he do.
Like, you know
Hey, Charleston White.
Yeah, you do.
You say some real controversial, outlandish shit just like myself, so I identify with niggas like you.
But you said you wanted to talk about the Lakers, so the in-season tournament.
Hey, to all our Laker fans out there in motherfucking YouTube and content world, my nigga P. Diddy, my nigga Vern, and all the rest of the homies. All my niggas from the shop. You know, nigga, it's LA or nothing, nigga. Lakers, nigga. We won the motherfucking first annual motherfucking in-season tournament. My nigga LB is playing like 2007, 2008 before he went to Miami, LB. Shout out to my nigga Andre Benjamin. I think I'm in love again with LBJ because he's playing fucking good. He not playing like a floppy disk, 3.5 disc. My nigga's the reason we are why we are relevant. Not fix or repair Davis. The Lakers, although I don't agree with you hanging a banner, I'm not cool with that. Like, there was a season accomplishment. To me, the in-season tournament is the equivalent to us winning the Pacific Division. And I'm gonna pass it to you, big.
I'm not gonna critique something that you just said in there because
please do.
Because
that's what we're here for.
It falls into the narrative that that everybody does when it comes to the Lakers is that they praise is not as loud as their disrespect, and Anthony Davis is having a hell of a season. And
we're in fucking December, big.
So what?
The season started not even 60 days ago.
So what?
Stop playing with me, man.
We could say the same thing about LeBron James. We're in December.
LeBron James has been doing this shit for 20 seasons. Regardless,
we're not talking about the past. We talking about right now. Stop doing that.
All right, I got you.
This season, Anthony Davis has been playing great. Right now. In that very game, Anthony Davis had 41 points and 20 rebounds and 4 blocked shots.
And he's supposed to do that shit every fucking game.
Ain't nobody putting up 40 and 20 every game. Nobody. Ain't nobody Wilt Chamberlain. Now, if you want to give me 30 and 15 tonight, all right, bet.
Okay, guess what? Stat man. So when Boogie was on motherfucking the Hornets, Pelicans, and they was together, and then after Boogie got hurt, was Davis not putting up 40 and 50 a night?
No. Stop saying outlandish shit. No, he was not. Ain't nobody for a super long stretch put up 40 and 20 a night. Nobody since Wilt Chamberlain.
So you do
Nobody.
remember when Boogie and him was on the
Yes,
same
I
team?
do
and they
remember.
both
I
was putting
remember-
up
I remember-
stupid numbers.
Yes.
And then when Boogie got hurt, he was putting up more stupid numbers.
Which
is why the Lakers got him.
Yeah, he was averaging 30 and 15. He wasn't averaging 40 and 20. He had games where he had 40 points. He had games where he had 50 points. But I'm talking about average. All the numbers added up and divided by the number of games he played. It was not 40 points and 20 rebounds. So we gotta stop expecting this man to average 40 and 20 when no one has done that since Wilt Chamberlain.
So I got one for you since you're going to say that and you're going to go there, right? I seen Statman once upon a time but not long ago with the young OKC Warriors, OKC Thunder, Harden, Ibaka, Durant, Westbrook, and a man by the name of K-Love put up 51 and 21.
In one game.
On them.
On one game. He didn't average 51 and 21.
No, that's not the point of what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is
what you said at the beginning of the argument was
AD put up 41
you
and
said
21.
at the beginning of the argument was AD should do that every night. No one does that every night. Kevin Love did not put up 50 and 30 average. He did it one game. One game.
He averaged a double-double for like 40, 50 games. He set the record.
Yes, he averaged like 20 and 10.
Yeah, all right.
He didn't average 50 and 30.
I got you, bro.
Again, keep the shit in fucking context. Anthony Davis is not going to average 40 and 20. There is not one player that has averaged
You
those
have
numbers.
expressed disappointment in Anthony Davis.
I have expressed disappointment in him, but I'm not expecting him to average 40 and 20.
You're not expecting him to have 40 and 20 and then come back the next game and have 17 or 15.
I'm not expecting him to
And that's
do
what he
that.
does.
I'm expecting consistency. If he could give me 25 to 30 a night, I'm cool with that. That's
I'm cool with that too,
consistency.
but he don't.
The man is averaging 25 a game this year. He's averaging 25 and 12
That ain't trash.
with 3 blocks.
That ain't trash though. Think about it.
Okay, that is good.
That's good.
That's good. That's
But he
all-star.
should-
He's going to be an
as talented as
all-star.
He is. He should be averaging as much,
should
if not
be.
more, as Giannis.
He should be.
He should be, but he's not.
But it's still not bad. That's
But
not,
we talking like
anybody
25
else-
and 13 is
if a person
garbage.
gets 25 to 12, they would and say that was what they average for the season. Any other player would be happy. There'd be amazing.
It'd be a bunch of people that be happy to average 25 and 13 for a season.
Niggas would be like, damn.
That's not garbage.
Man,
It's not. But is he going to finish that way?
He averaged 26 and 13 last year.
Right. As long as
What is his average for his career?
That's his average for his career.
Really?
Yes. Maybe less than 13 rebounds, maybe 12 rebounds.
Right.
But we talking like this man is trash. Like this man is putting
He's
up.
inconsistent, though.
There we go.
I
Yes,
never
that.
said.
We agree with that.
I agree with that. I never said he
We
was
agree with that.
consistent.
We agree with
But
that.
all this, he should average 40 and 20. Cut this bullshit out, because nobody's done that since Wilt Chamberlain. If that's the case, everybody's garbage. That's what I don't like about the argument. Is everybody like he should average 40 and 20. Name me one person that's averaged 40 and 20 since Wilt Chamberlain. I'll wait.
I got you. But Jordan averaged 37 for a season. Kobe
That's
averaged
not
35
40.
for a season.
Fred, see, that's why I say.
Bradley Beal averaged 30 for a season.
That's not 40. You just said.
Stephen Curry averaged 35 for a
man.
season.
Steph Curry ain't never averaged 35 for a season. Keep going.
I might be wrong with that one.
You are wrong with that
other
one.
niggas. It's
But listen to what I said. 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 Listen to
for a season.
Listen to what I said.
Am I correct?
Listen to what I said.
He said, bro.
And then he going way off into what
Not 38, 40.
I said 40. Jordan ain't never averaged 40 in a season. Kobe ain't never averaged 40 in a season. Bradley Beal ain't never averaged 40 in a season. Steph Curry ain't never averaged 40 in a season. You know what the last person that averaged 40 points for his season?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Thank you. You know what the last person that averaged 20 rebounds in a season?
Ben Wallace.
Wrong. Wilt Chamberlain. Ben Wallace ain't never averaged 20 rebounds in a season. Dennis Rodman ain't never averaged 20 rebounds in a season. Never. He ain't never averaged 20 rebounds in a season. The last person to do that was Wilt Chamberlain.
God damn it.
So we gotta
that's why
cut
you
this
stat man.
bullshit out that people need to average 40 and 20 for a season when it ain't been done in damn near 60 years.
Shaq was dominating, he still didn't average that.
Shaq at his peak
Wait,
in the
what-
2000.
hey, what-
Shaq
what
at
is
his
Shaq
peak.
best rebound
Shaq
season,
at his
man?
peak in the 2000 finals was 38 and 17,
No, what's Shaq's best rebound season?
like 12.
All right,
Shaq's highest scoring season was 29,
that's crazy.
and he's the most dominant ever. But we want Anthony Davis to average 40 when the most dominant ever never did it.
He got potential to do it. What you mean in today's
okay.
NBA? Why not?
So did Shaq. Did he do it?
No.
So did Hakeem Olajuwon. Did he do it? It
He
has not
averaged
been
35 and 10 in the finals.
in the finals. I said a season,
I
an
got you.
82
I got
game
you. I got you.
season, not a 6-game, 7-game series. An 82 game season. It has not been done in over 60 years. So in 60 years, it's never been done. So why are we expecting Anthony Davis to do it when people who have played the game, bigs who have played the game that are better than Anthony Davis couldn't do it? And we not holding them accountable for it. But we gonna hold Anthony Davis accountable for it? That's bullshit to me.
I agree.
That's bullshit
I
to
can
me.
agree with that, but he still need to be more consistent.
I agree with that.
What
I never
about-
argued that.
Nobody.
I never argued that in any discussion that I've had about Anthony Davis. I've never argued his consistency or his injury history. I've never argued that.
Or his desire.
Or his desire, his motor. I've never argued that. Never argued that. But when we expecting these astronomical ass numbers from somebody and we didn't expect it from these other people that are better than him, I don't think we should hold Anthony Davis accountable for that. We shouldn't hold him accountable for expecting him to do 40 and 20 when Shaq didn't do it. The most dominant ever.
Hey, when you
And
got
we
a
ain't
nigga
seen
running
it
around
in
saying,
over
"I'm
60.
him,"
A lot of niggas run around saying, I'm him.
Yeah, I'm him. Nigga, I'm him and still getting 25 and 13. I'm him. And to be real, that's good, nigga. That's
If you go out and bust somebody's ass and give them 30 points, you can scream, I'm him.
You can. And you get 12, 13 rebounds.
And you getting 12, 13 rebounds, and you getting 5 blocks a game.
Oh, yeah.
That nigga embarrassed Miles Turner in that championship game. He embarrassed Miles Turner. He had the right to say I'm him, because he embarrassed the fuck out of Miles Turner. Quiet as kept. The other night, he embarrassed Victor Wembanyama. Overpowered him, bullied him,
Not last
dunked
night.
on him. Not last night. He didn't play last night.
Yeah, you right.
He didn't play last night. And the Lakers got ran out the building. But on Wednesday night when he played, he gave Victor Wembanyama the business. Gave that nigga 37. Gave him the business. Bullied him, dunked on him, everything. And nobody saying nothing.
So, hey, G,
But the
baby,
second he fuck up, everybody got something to say. That's bullshit to me, man. That's bullshit to me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't respect it. None of that.
So what album you want to talk about, G baby?
So I don't understand that. We'll get back to that in a minute. Let's start getting on some heads.
All right.
I'm gonna let you go first because I got a lot of heads. Well, not a lot of heads, but I got some heads to get on. So I'm gonna let you go first, man. Who head you want to get on?
I want to get on Staley.
Oh, Brandon Staley. Go for it.
Brandon Staley. You should have stayed a coordinator, bro. Some niggas is meant to be coordinators, like Rex Ryan was meant to be a coach, and Rob Ryan was meant to be a coordinator. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, with people like my guy Big and my guy Ancho, they want to say that Justin Herbert is a bad quarterback and this, that, and the third, and blase, blase, blah, this, that, and the third. You seen what they are without Justin Herbert. And my nigga's been playing all season with a fucking broken finger on his other hand, and he still got good numbers. So, with that being said, we all know when we got a coach that is a defensive-minded coach and the defense struggles, it's a problem. On top of the fact that when you got a defensive-minded coach and you have an offensive quarterback, you need more creativity on the offensive side. So you can't have a defensive-minded coach. Like, I'll say this, and I'll give you this. Because throughout the whole Big and Skip podcast journey, I've been hard on number 15. And I will continue to be hard. What I will say is that Andy Reid is an offensive-minded coach, and he comes from the West Coast system. So he's gotten the best out of Alex Smith. He's gotten the best out of Corey Detmer. He's gotten the best out of Kevin Cobb, and he's gotten the best out of Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick. He's gotten the best out of the quarterback that, what's his name? I forget his name right now, but what is his name? The one that won the Super Bowl?
Who won the Super Bowl?
2017.
Who won the Super Bowl in 2017?
Philly.
Nick Foles.
Yeah. Andy Reid is responsible for Nick Foles. So I want to say that even if number 15 of the Kansas City Chiefs was good, he's getting even better with the play calling of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's even better with the play calling of Andy Reid. So I say all this to say that Staley should have been fired. They lost a 27-point lead in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I think he should have got let go after that.
What shouldn't have happened. And, like, at the end of the day, like, even with Jason Garrett, Jerry had to let him go. It's like, at a certain point, yes, coaches coach and players play. And the players are responsible for what goes on in the field. Mm-hmm. But as you said the quarterback is the game manager. The coaches call the plays.
Yeah.
The coaches discipline the players.
Yeah.
The coaches, like
the coaches tell the quarterback to go manage the game. Though.
So I want to say that Dan Quinn is the reason why our offense is singing. So he's calling the plays. He's playing Geppetto. So it's like if you're a defensive-minded coach, you got to do some Bill Belichick shit. You got to do some Bill Parcells shit. You got to do some Coach Coughlin shit. You got to do some Joe Gibbs shit. If you're not doing that and letting the offensive coordinator be the offensive coordinator and coach up the offense, it's time for you to go and go be a defensive coordinator. I'm going to pass the ball to you on that one. San Diego Chargers, get a better coach.
they not San Diego, but Cameron Jarrell Newton. Let me talk to you for a minute, man. I like to keep things in perspective, and I like to give flowers when flowers deserve to be given. So, Cam Newton, I am going to give you your flowers because you were a high-level quarterback when you played. You, in 2015, were the epitome. You were the epitome of, I'm going to put this franchise on my back and take them somewhere. You did that in 2015. You put that franchise on your back, and you took them all the way to the Super Bowl. Cam Newton, you won a national championship in college. Cam Newton, you were a Heisman Trophy winner in college. Cam Newton, you was an offensive rookie of the year in your first year. You threw for over 4,000 yards. Cam Newton, you was a league MVP in 2015. Cam Newton, you once was an all-pro quarterback, which means you were I think that means you were the best quarterback in the league that year. Cam Newton, you made it to the Pro Bowl 3 times. So I'm going to give you your flowers, Cam Newton, for all of that. One of the best running quarterbacks in the league.
One of the best black quarterbacks ever.
But Cam Newton, again, like I say, I also like to keep things in perspective. Cam Newton, you said the difference between a game manager and a game changer is basically, and I'm paraphrasing, a game changer is somebody that can deviate from what's being asked of them and make a play that changes the game. And you had your moment where you were a game changer. But a lot of people say that they try to diminish what a game manager is, and they speak of it in negative terms. And a lot of media people clean that up, and I appreciate y'all for cleaning that up. But what I will say to you, Cam Newton, is that when you made the comments you made on your podcast, you was not making it in that light. You was not making it in that aspect, which is why you had to come out and clean up what you said a couple of days later, because people got on your head about calling certain quarterbacks, MVP candidate quarterbacks, game managers. Cam Newton, at a certain time of your career, you were nothing but a game manager. Cam Newton, you played in the league 11 years, Cam Newton. 11 years, Cam Newton. You had 3 winning seasons in 11 years. 3 in 11 years. Cam Newton, that's not good. Cam Newton, in the 11 years you played in the league, you threw for over 4,000 yards one time. One time in 11 years. And it wasn't your MVP year. Cam Newton, that's not good. Cam Newton, in the 11 years that you played in the league, 8 of those years, you had double-digit interceptions. Am I looking at that right? Yeah. You had double-digit interceptions. That means you were turnover prone. It's not good, Cam Newton. Cam Newton, in the 11 years you played in the league, only one time you threw more than 24 touchdowns in a season. The 2 quarterbacks that you talk about this year, both of them have thrown more touchdowns this year than you did all but 1 year in your 11-year career. That's not good. Cam Newton, I heard a stat that of all quarterbacks that's thrown at least 2,000 passes, 3,000 passes, only 2 of them have a completion percentage of under 60%. Cam Newton, you're one of them. The other one's Donovan McNabb. Cam Newton, that's not good. And in those seasons, let's see, in the 11 seasons you played, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those 11 seasons, you had a completion percentage of under 60%. That's not good, Cam Newton. But you talk about these quarterbacks like they ain't shit. Like you was just the greatest quarterback since sliced bread. You was a good running quarterback, Cam Newton. You wasn't a good passing quarterback. It's why coaches tailored the offense to make you a game manager, because you were turnover prone. Kind of like what Mike McCarthy did early in the season with Dak Prescott, because they wanted to limit his mistakes. They made him just a game manager and not a difference maker. Kind of like what people said Kyle Shanahan was doing with Brock Purdy. You got all these skilled players, so just manage the game. But they see that he can actually throw the ball, so they opened up the playbook and let him be more of a difference maker than a game manager. Cam Newton, your age 24 year in the NFL compared to one of those quarterbacks, Brock Purdy. Let's look at the numbers. He has a higher completion percentage than you. He has more passing yards than you. He has more yards per attempt than you. He has more yards per game than you. He has more touchdowns than you. He has less interceptions than you, and he has a better rating. You know what you have more than him? Rushing attempts, rushing yards, yards per attempt, rushing touchdowns. You know why? Because you're a running quarterback. That's what you do. That's what you were good at. But as far as being just a quarterback to just throw the yards, Cam Newton, you weren't good at that. Cam Newton, you made the playoffs 4 times.
You never had no good receivers.
Listen to me. Cam Newton, you made the playoffs
After Stevon left, who did he have?
Listen. Cam Newton, you made the playoffs 4 times in your career. 4 in 11 seasons. By my math, that's not good. And only one of those years, I think, was the year you actually won some playoff games, because that was the year you went to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to talk about what happened in the Super Bowl that year, because Denver was a dominant defense and Von Miller was different. I still think you should have dove for that ball, but, you know. I'm going to give you a pass because that was Von Miller. But you still should have dove for the ball. That's a Super Bowl championship on the line. You do what it takes to win. I don't care who's on the other side of the ball. You do what it takes to win. But
you have dove for it.
But yes, I would have. Damn championship. I don't give a fuck if Rachel White is on the other side. I'm diving for that ball to keep possession, to try to go down and score and win this game. Cam Newton, you were a good quarterback. You were a good athlete. I'm not going to say you were a good quarterback. I'm going to say you were a good athlete, because you did more running than you did throwing. You were better at running the football than you were at throwing the ball. Most of your highlights, Cam Newton, in the year you won MVP, Cam Newton, you threw for, let me see if this is right. The year you won MVP, you threw for 3,800 yards. The year you won MVP, you threw for over 3,800 yards. You do know Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy, unless they get hurt, by the end of this Sunday could have more passing yards than you did in your MVP season, this season, right? They already have more touchdowns than you did that MVP season, because your best wide receiver had less than 800 yards that whole season. Ted Ginn Jr., shout out to Ted Ginn Jr., former 49er, former Saint. But your best wide receiver had 783 yards that season. You know who has more yards than that this season? CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk. Let me keep going here. Cam Newton, I'm not going to agree with what Kimberly Martin at ESPN said about you tweeting from your basement, being jealous because you want to be in the league and all that. I'm not going to agree with that because I think she went too far. Cam Newton, you were a good quarterback in this league, but you were more of an athlete than a quarterback. Why do I say that? Because you ran the ball more than you threw the ball. You ran the ball very effectively when you were a quarterback. You didn't throw the ball very effectively because you were turnover prone. You had the highest interception rate of anybody who played during your era, if I'm not mistaken. You were very turnover prone, bro. Again, you played 11 years in the league. Game changers, you know what game changers do? Getting back to what G said earlier, game changers, they put franchises on their back and they go out and they win. They get the job done. They don't just go out there. They don't put up plays for highlights and highlight tapes and all that stuff. They don't do that. They don't do that. They don't do that. Game changers, they go out and game changers win the game. Cam Newton, you made it to the Super Bowl one time. You lost. You never sniffed the Super Bowl before that. You never sniffed the Super Bowl since that. I'll give you what you did in college when you won the national championship and you won the Heisman Trophy. You did that with Auburn because I believe that was the year y'all beat Alabama at the missed field goal and they ran it back. I believe that was that year. I could be wrong, but you did that. I'm going to give you that. But game changers, they win consistently. You didn't win consistently in the NFL. Remember, 11-year career, that's how many winning seasons you had. That's it. That's it. You're talking about Dak Prescott. I get it. Dak Prescott, we need to see what you're going to do in the playoffs. But Dak Prescott has more winning seasons than Cam Newton does. Brock Purdy is only his second year in the league. You know what Brock Purdy's record is as a quarterback, Skip? You know what his record is as a quarterback?
What is
Do you
it?
know? You don't know?
No.
I'll tell you. His record, he's played 18 games. He started 18 games, 13 this year and 5 last year. He's won 15 of those games. He's 15-3 as a starting quarterback. That looks like a difference to me because you say he's not a difference maker, yet the 49ers offense has looked better with him as a quarterback than it did as Jimmy Garoppolo as the quarterback. Because Kyle Shanahan
Y'all still was winning.
Because we still winning. We was winning in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo.
I don't agree with that.
I do because I could go back to the Super Bowl. I could go back to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
He missed one play.
He missed a bunch of plays.
He missed one play.
He missed a bunch of plays. I could go back to the NFC Championship game against the Rams. He missed a bunch of plays. We lost those 2 games because of Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right.
Because of Jimmy Garoppolo. My point in what I'm saying to you, Cam Newton, is that, listen, I'm not going to knock your career. You had a great career. You did some amazing things.
You should still be playing.
Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. But I like to keep things in perspective. And you can't call quarterbacks who have better numbers than you game managers. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You can't do that. At the end of the day, Cam Newton, you were great at running the football. You made some throws when it mattered, but consistently, you was not a great quarterback. Pure quarterback, you wasn't great, bro. So, again, you have every right to speak your opinion because you played the game, and you played the game at a high level. So I'm not telling you don't have a right to say what you said. But in this era of Google, people can look you up, and people can see that your stats weren't great. They were not great. And people can see that you, a game changer, played 11 years in the league and only had 3 winning seasons. They can know that you, as a game changer, played 11 years in the league and only made the playoffs 4 times. And of those 4 times, only 1 time did you advance and get to the Super Bowl. People can YouTube that Super Bowl and see that you did not die for the ball when your team was still alive, and that at the end of the day sealed your fate in the Super Bowl. You ain't been the same since. People can look up what you were when you were with the Patriots and see that you was trash. People can look up your last stint with the Carolina Panthers and see that you went 0-5 and got benched. You got benched because you were bad. So, granted, people are going to have their opinions, and opinions are opinions. You can have them. But opinions can also be critiqued. I'm sure people are going to see this and hear what I said, see what I said, and they're going to have a critique about what I said. Oh, fuck. I said what I said. But also everything that I said can be backed up. You can look it up. Because everything that I said about your career is right here. You can Google it. Your stats weren't great. You didn't win in the NFL. You won some awards here and there. Like I said, you offensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, MVP, 3 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. You did that in an 11-year career. It's a hell of a resume. Throw in your Heisman and your national championship. That's a great resume. There's not many quarterbacks that have a resume like that. But stats matter too. And your stats weren't great. Not even when you won league MVP. You won league MVP because your ability to run the ball as well as some of the throws you made. You didn't win league MVP because you put up these astronomical passing numbers, because you didn't. The only year you threw for over 4,000 yards was your rookie year. You only threw for over 24 touchdowns once in a year. Again, you were turnover prone, which is why they had to change the offense and make you a game manager.
Yeah.